What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast, Clocks on the Stove. Your usual host, myself, Mr. Grayson Fisher. With me, my very own AP journalist at UP. Wait, what is it? UP journalist? Is that what we would say
Yeah,
now?
yeah, University
UP
Press.
University Press journalist for the FAU basketball team, who is now in the Elite Eight. So let's give a congrats to our basketball team, as well as to their writer, Mr. Zach Watts. Um, we had his older brother on. We were like, you know what? We might as well just get the whole family package in here. We got with us Georgia Tech linebacker, Mr. Austin Dean Austin. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So, just before we started recording, you were saying you just got back. So you're on spring break. You just got back from Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah,
How
it
was
was a
that
good
your
time.
first Fort Lauderdale spring break?
First spring break, yeah. We used to go when I was little. Like I've been like two or three times, but that was my first time going by
Where did
myself
you
and my friends.
where were like your spots that you were hitting in Laudy for spring break?
We went to backyard one night.
Okay.
And then we went down to there was like a beach with a whole bunch of bars. It was like the strip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A rock bar, most
Yeah,
likely.
Rock Bar was where we
Yeah,
went. Yeah.
Rock Bar's fire, dude. So we went to school at, I mean, Zach still goes to school because he's dumb as hell, but we went to school at FAU, so we were right there. So like people that don't know FAU, man, it gets a bad rep. It gets a really bad rep. I don't know why people call. I don't know why, but listen, I'm gonna do a little recruiting pitch right here. The entire month of March is spring break. Okay, you need to understand this. The whole month, every single from March 1st to March 30th, you can go to Fort Lauderdale any day of the week. It could be a Sunday, it could be a
Yeah, that's
Wednesday
sick.
at fucking 2. It's spring break. So everyone's grades at FAU during March drop.
Dang.
My sophomore year, I think I literally didn't go to class the whole month of March because I finally had an ID. I was like 21. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale every day. And I would just ask mom and dad for money. And I went to Fort Lauderdale every single fucking day. Every single day.
Damn.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Fort Lauderdale, nice place. I know you're at Georgia Tech now. Is there any place like that up in GT that you
Like,
can kind of
no
like hit the strip
way.
at?
No
Nah,
way. No way.
we go to this place called Buckhead. It's got a couple bars, but it's nothing like it's I think George no, Georgia's not landlocked, but it's just like southern bars. It's not like FAU
Yeah.
or Fort
Well,
Lauderdale.
FAU is different. So like, there's good and bad to it. I mean, first of all, it's good because we're in the Elite Eight, which is pretty sick. What's bad about it though, there's no like college. There's not like a college town vibe to it.
Yeah,
And
they
we
recruited
definitely got
me.
that at Rutgers.
I was gonna uh I was gonna take a visit to FAU, but it was like COVID and so they shut it down. But it like I went on a virtual visit in like 2020 and it seemed pretty sick.
Who was that with? That wasn't with Lane, right?
No, it was with Taggart. Jim Levitt was the DC. He was recruiting me.
Yeah, dog.
So what's the difference between like a virtual visit and like an on-site visit? Because like I'm assuming they don't walk you around with a computer and be like, oh, here's our
They
premises
put
over
like a
here. Like,
GoPro on Taggart's chest and he just
Nah,
walks the camera.
we so they like would set up like a whole thing. You'd meet like the strength staff and then they'd have like pictures of the strength room, like the work yeah, strength room, and then you'd meet like the training staff and then they'd show like the training room and then like they'd have like clips of the locker room and then like they'd go through like all the amenities that football players get and then like my one for Rutgers, like they actually did walk around, like they
No
walked around the
way.
facility, yeah, and they showed me. And then FAU, they walked around. This wasn't on my visit, but they would like FaceTime and they'd go to like the weight room,
I'll just
and
show
then
you.
they'd like show the weight room, and then they go to like the meeting rooms with like on FaceTime and walk around and show me. So, but like most other schools, it was just like a slideshow presentation, and then
Mhm.
like they'd have like a video that they made at the end with like graphics and music to it about like the facilities in the school.
Dude, that is so weird. That's so
Yeah, it
weird. Did
was.
you get any in-person visits at all?
I got one to Rutgers after I visited, or
Like virtually?
after I already signed.
Okay.
But I mean, I went to like junior days when I was little. I tagged along with Charlie. We went to camp at South Carolina,
Mhm.
and Steven Garcia,
Yeah, y'all are
he's
boys
from
with them. I
Tampa.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steven like he set up something, and Woodrow Grady. We played 7-on-7. Coach Grady, he for Team Tampa. We like went to junior days at Georgia, Florida, and then me and Charlie camped in South Carolina, and we got a little visit there. Um, yeah, I mean, my only like real like sort of official visit because it wasn't an official at Rutgers either because I had already signed and there was like no visit. But that was my only like real visit for me.
What would you
So
say like
weird
your
to think
favorite
about,
campus
dude.
was?
Favorite campus?
Yeah, that you like at least went to like
Columbia was
that.
pretty cool.
Virtually,
South
your favorite
Carolina.
virtual campus.
Favorite virtual campus? Yale had a good virtual meeting, virtual
Yeah.
visit. But my favorite like campus was Columbia, South Carolina. That place was sick.
Yeah. Would that be allowed though? Like would like you going to Yale? Is that like or is that like in contract that the
I don't
brother of
know.
another one can go there? Or is it like you're not supposed to do that?
I don't know. I don't know what my mom would have done because I played Charlie when I was at Berkeley and he was
Yeah,
at
that
TC.
I was gonna ask you that because I know his senior year he went to Hillsborough, so you didn't play him then. But I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
he
you
ducked me.
if you started your sophomore year and played against him.
Uh, he was gone my sophomore year, but I would have played against him because I started sophomore year. I played like
Oh, that's right. You were a
played.
freshman when I was a senior. I thought you were a sophomore. Yeah,
No, I was a sophomore when he was a senior. I was a freshman when he was a
he was a
junior.
junior. So you
In his
played
junior year,
against
that's when
him
we
your freshman
played.
year.
I played like 10 snaps against him, maybe.
Did you get him?
I didn't do anything. Nah.
Is that the one thing you wish you could have done?
If you were in that scenario though, would you have lit him up?
Oh, he would have gotten smoked. That's why he transferred. He didn't want the smoke.
No
ducked me.
way. You think that's what it was? He was like, "Damn, dude, Austin's getting kind of big. Like, I'm gonna have to play him again next year."
That's what it was. He was gonna go to UC. The excuse was he was gonna go to UCF and graduate early, so he'd get out of TC because they wouldn't let him. But it was really just because of me.
Damn,
Yeah, the little
you gotta
brotherly
love it, man.
rivalry.
You gotta love it.
Oh yeah. Did you give a shit for that at the house? You'd be like, I know why you're leaving.
Nah,
I know.
nah.
He's like, hey, he sits down with the family. He's like, "Hey guys, like like all these like legitimate ass reasons I gotta leave TC," and you're just sitting there in the corner like, "Yeah, you're fucking scared, bro."
Yeah, he's just ducking me. I was probably 185 soaking wet at the time.
So let's talk about your move from high school to college. What was kind of the decision to go to Rutgers, and what kind of was like your first
Well,
year or
first,
two
wait, real
there?
quick, Zach, back that up. What was it like playing under Coach Sile, man?
Oh yeah,
Man, he's the best. He was the best. Favorite coach I've ever played for.
Yeah, because my dad played for him at Jesuit, and then I left to go to Jesuit, so I didn't get to play. I did two spring footballs under him, which was awesome. But I mean, like I
Yeah,
wasn't in the limelight, so like he didn't really. It was more like, "Hey, Fish, what's up?" I wasn't like I was in
yeah.
eighth grade. I was running third team defense. Like I wasn't doing anything crazy. But I've only heard amazing things about him, dude. And like I as a person, he's a great guy. But like I've only heard amazing things for him. So like, yeah, what was it like being under his leadership and seeing like how he ran everything and like the even just like the recruitment with him, everything.
I mean, he was old school for everything. Like from the way we dressed, like we all had to wear black cleats. My senior year, he kind of was more lenient about it, but like we were like black cleats. We ran the ball probably 90 times a game. Recruiting, he was the same way. Like we were informed to be like as honest as possible with these coaches. Like if we weren't going to school, it was like, hey, coach, like thanks for recruiting me, but I'm not really considering you guys. And like when you committed, you committed. It wasn't like going back on your commitment. Um, but I mean, the way he was like out of football is he was the exact same way in football. I mean, obviously you get pissed off sometimes and cuss you out, but I mean, he was straight up. That's how he is 24/7.
Would you say he's like one of like the like I would say like would you say he had one of the best football minds out of any coach or guy you've been around?
Yeah, like when it comes to that guy hammered the fundamentals. So when it comes to fundamentals, he's like he's been doing the same thing for about 100 years now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Now,
ran the same offense when it was at Jesuit, same offense when we were at Berkeley. Like hasn't changed since
That
Nelson
one
Aguilar
safety,
was there
yeah,
to
that one
now.
safety defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they switched it up, the defense up. My sophomore year, we didn't have enough D linemen. They ran like the same. It was called Overzone Y. They ran the same defense for
Yep, I
forever.
remember that because it was the same when I was at Berkeley middle school. The defensive was ran the same
Yeah,
as high school.
yeah.
Damn, bro, you're giving me memories right now.
They switched it up because we didn't have enough D linemen. And then Jalen Harrell,
Yeah.
his dad came in. Coach Harrell came in my senior year, and he started running the defense a little bit differently. He started running more like too high.
Wait, real quick. Sorry, I know Zach wants to ask someone. You're a player's dad coached him. So I know
No,
Sio's very no with that.
no. Coach Harold did not coach Jalen. It was like the year after Jalen graduated.
Okay, yeah, because he's a year older than you. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay, because I was gonna say because I know when Cade was there, Coach Weldon wanted to go and help out, but Sio is a very strict like you don't coach your kid rule, like
yeah,
not
I
on his
know.
team.
It's only guys who played for him too. Like that was 95% of our staff. We
Oh
had
yeah,
Kevin Carter. I don't know if you know Zion Carter.
yeah,
That
yeah.
he
I know
actually
Zion.
did. He actually did coach Zion when he was a senior. Coach Carter came on. He was like probably the only coach my whole time who didn't play for Coach Sayo and
Yeah.
him and Coach Harrell.
Yeah. Um, one of the things I wanted to ask, just because you brought up the offense, did you only play linebacker at in high school? Did you try any other positions? And if you
Nah, I
did,
played fullback and tight end.
Yeah, Zach at Berkeley, you don't play one way, brother.
Yeah.
There's not enough kids. It's just like CDS, dude. There is not enough unless you are the guy. You play both ways.
now, did you like fullback or do you like tight end more?
Uh, I mean, I basically just did the same. I just blocked my whole time. It was pretty much the exact same thing, except at full. I probably like fullback more because I got a running head start at the guys.
That is true. Damn.
But we just like when we ran the ball. I said we ran the ball 90 times a game. Like
No,
it was,
yeah,
it was
literally. Yeah, but the beauty of it too is like you don't get the flashiness with Coach Silas teams, but you get the consistency. Like
yeah,
I mean, you played for him, so you can speak. But I mean, I've been around Berkeley since I was in kindergarten. The amount of teams where like the talent was so much worse than the other team, but he just
yeah.
outcoached them, and they would blow them out, and they would like blow them out. It was
They'd have
crazy.
like 10, 15 play drives that took the
Yeah,
entire first quarter. The other team would get gassed. That we'd get on a little roll, and all of a sudden 21-0, we'd be up.
dude, and
And
it'd be like you like the best player on Berkeley's team's like an FIU commit, and they have like 4 4 stars. And
yeah,
for some reason, his schemes and the way he runs it, they just always find a way, dude. It's crazy.
yeah,
Like that year with Nelson, dude.
yeah,
Oh my
him. They
gosh,
had
it was so sad. They had
he had
dogs
four
that year.
guys.
Yeah,
They had like four dogs, and like they went all the way.
they
But
had him. They had him went to USC. He was like the number 9 player in the country. I remember they wouldn't let middle schoolers go to his signing day, and I knew ESPN was there, and I'm like a little sports like
oh, you were
fanatic.
actually at Berkeley. Damn, I
Yeah,
didn't
and
know
I
that.
was in 6th grade. No, I was in 6th grade. I snuck. No, was I? I was in 6th or 5th grade. I went to the bathroom and then I ran across campus and snuck into the gym to watch him sign because I was like, "There's no way." But they had him. They had
Skylar
Skyler.
Miley.
Yeah, Skyler, who was a all American. He was like a 4 star. Went to Kansas. They had
Yeah,
Christian Hardegree who went to Colgate. Their quarterback was Dustin. He was it. He went to play D3 baseball. And then they had
someone
Tyler
went to
Vogel.
Auburn, I think, or Army. Someone went to Army
Yeah,
that
you're
year.
right. And then Tyler Vogel ended up punting for UF and
Miami.
Miami, and then he played in the NFL for a little bit.
Yeah,
So I mean,
And they
speaking of your
didn't
high
win
school
states.
teams, they didn't
yeah.
win states.
No, dude,
Uh,
they played American Heritage. They went up. They beat everybody that year. They were undefeated.
smoked them.
Smoked them, dude. Smoke because it
Wait,
was the
what?
first.
What
This was
classification were they
our.
in?
They were 3A. They
Yeah,
had
3A.
they
Okay.
were
GC,
here.
CCC. They were like it was the first time Berkeley beat CCC in school history. They
Oh
mopped
shit.
them. Then because they had Shio's team, but they just gave him like 4 great guys, and
Yeah,
that was all he needed. But in the state finals, the state semifinals, they play American Heritage at American Heritage. They get stopped on 2 4th and 1s on the goal line. Skyler at fullback got stuffed twice, and Nelson tears his labrum in the 3rd quarter and doesn't play the
yeah. They
rest
were
of the game.
taking out his knees the whole game.
Yeah,
Sky, I'm good friends with Sky. He was my linebacker coach at Berkeley, and he said the whole semifinal game they were just diving at Nelson's knees trying to take him
yeah,
out.
and they lost by like a field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Oh, it was so sad. I don't know if Berkeley will ever get that close again. Actually, no, it's possible.
2022 they lost in the
The
state
finals,
championship
right? Yeah.
game, and then my senior year, 2021, we lost in the semis. We lost by 2.
To who?
Both teams lost to Chaminade Madonna,
What?
and they're from Miami. Yeah, we
Sounds like
were
some
up.
Bishop Sycamore type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's Chaminade Madonna, but we were up like 21-7 the whole game. I think like 2 turnovers happened and they got back into it. Um, and then I remember we ended up stopping them. It was like it was like a 3-minute situation and we had to stop them. and they ended up going 3-and-out, but they probably had like, I mean, their whole defense probably went Power 5. They like they took the leashes off the dogs. The whole D line I know was committed to Miami, or like 3 of the 4 guys, and we went 2 minute, and it was just like our quarterback was running for his life.
Who was it? Was it Youngblood?
No, it was Gavin Rupp.
I don't know who that is.
He went to Rutgers with me actually,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, he was running for his life. It was like he first play he got smacked, he got smashed. Second play he was like off his back foot throwing, and then third play he got sacked again, and that was about all she wrote.
Yeah, because I was gonna say on your player bio, it says that in 2020 y'all were like the 19th ranked team in Florida.
Yeah, no,
You guys
we were good.
Yeah, but since you brought it up, was he the only player out of Berkeley? I'm referring to, was he the only player out of Berkeley that went with you to Rutgers? Did you have anyone else that you knew from Florida that committed there that you ended up playing alongside with?
Yeah, Mayan Ahana too. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He went to Minnesota and then transferred either 2 or 3 years ago
2 years,
to
yeah.
Rutgers, and then Josh Youngblood last 2 years ago transferred from Kansas State to Rutgers. So it was us 4 who all went to Berkeley, and then Henry Hughes, he went to Tampa Bay Tech.
Mhm.
I didn't know him in Tampa, but I mean, like we just knew each other when we were up there because we were both from Tampa. So there was a bunch of Tampa guys up there, and then we had like 9 or 10 guys from Florida.
Dude,
on
Schiano
the
likes
team.
that Tampa pipeline, but
Yeah.
he loves the SIO pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like? You go was Schiano the one that directly recruited you?
Yeah, it was him, Coach Frazier, he was the linebacker coach, and Coach Smith, he was the DC at the time. It was them 3. And then Jim Panagos, he was like the recruiter for the area. But it was them 3. I know you asked earlier like how I ended up choosing Rutgers.
Yeah.
It was like Coach Sayo, or when Coach Schiano was in Tampa, his sons went to Berkeley.
Yeah, I was
He
like
ended up
best friends with them
coaching.
in middle school.
Yeah, they're cool guys. The whole family's like great.
Mhm.
And like Coach Sile was just like, you need to like really consider going to Rutgers. I mean, Coach Schiano's got like a football mind. It's like insane how much he knows. Like he used to predict stuff coming out of halftime, like what would happen, it would happen. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, and he was just like, I think it'd be a great opportunity for you. And at the time, like Charlie was just coming out of COVID at Harvard, and he was just like, I'm so sick of like the Ivy League BS with all the COVID protocols and stuff like that. And so I was just like, yeah, I mean, Rutgers was Power 5 and it was cool in New Jersey. So it's a good school too. So I thought it was worth it.
Even though you're leaving, did you enjoy your time there while you were there?
Yeah, no, I did. The people were great there. Biggest thing for me was just like, it was just depressing being up in the Northeast, like
Mhm.
gray and cold all the time. That honestly, that's what got to me the most.
The people are all assholes.
The people on the team were nice, but yeah, the ones outside the program
Dude,
were.
95% of FAU is New York and New Jersey, bro.
That's
They
what U
all
Tampa
come
is
down
like.
there. Yeah, it's the same thing.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm from Tampa, and people be like, oh my gosh, it's like 3 girls from my high school went to U Tampa. They love it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have the same issue my first year in college because I went to go play baseball in North Carolina, and the winters there were so brutal just because like you you'd wake up and you go outside your dorm room and it's so cold, everything's dead, like it just feels like
Yeah,
like gloomy all the time. And I just was like, I was like, I come from Florida, like it's literally 80
yeah,
degrees year round, like it feels so lively. And I was like, especially like if you're already down on yourself mentally because like things aren't going your way, like it's so much harder with the weather sucks because then you're like, now I'm bitching about it being cold or
yeah.
whatever else is like getting to you is annoying. But
You
when
and
you were at
Charlie hit the transfer portal at the same time, roughly, right?
Uh, he hit it before me. He
Because
hit
I
it like
remember seeing him,
maybe.
and then I remember seeing him retweet your post, and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!" I told my dad, I was like, "Bro, the Dean brothers both just hit the transfer
yeah, we're
portal."
both in the portal.
did y'all discuss it all since y'all hit the transfer portal around the same time that you wanted to go somewhere similar? Did you were just like you're gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing?
I actually had no clue he was gonna hit the portal. I remember it was a Friday night in a hotel before a game. I saw it and I was like, what the hell? He just entered the portal. And then I ended up like texting my dad. I was like, did Charlie just accidentally entered the portal or something? He's like, no, he's entering the portal and he's leaving after he graduates. So I was like, oh, and then when I hit it, I mean, we both kind of want to end up down south. That was kind of more important for me than him. I think he just wants to go somewhere to just play football. He's got like the best degree in the country, so he just doesn't. He just wants to go play for 2 years, no matter where it is.
Yeah, was that I kind of wanted to bust your balls, but I was gonna say, did you go to Georgia Tech just to be like, I'm not the dumb brother? Like my brother didn't go to Harvard and I went to Rutgers.
Yeah, no. When I was at Rutgers, it was kind of funny. Charlie doesn't like to brag either. He's always like, "Yo, I go to school in Boston." So I'd be like if I was in an Uber, they'd be like, "Oh, where do you go?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I go to Rutgers." And then like if he was in there, he'd be like, "Oh, I go to school in Boston." And they'd be like, "Harvard?" And he'd be like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "Damn."
You're like, fuck me, man. I remember when I graduated, I had a bunch of Ivy League schools, or not a bunch. I had a bunch of like really high level academic schools recruiting me in wrestling, but I couldn't get. They all wanted me to get 31 on my ACT. I don't know if you know, but that's really fucking hard to do, and I couldn't get it. So I had all these schools stop recruiting me, like Johns Hopkins stopped recruiting me, Davidson College, Brown. I was talking to the Princeton guy a little bit, Washington Elise. Like I was like using that to get into school, and I couldn't. So I remember senior year, it's like we're doing like our senior walk, and some mom like I'm standing next to this kid Jack Ferranti, and he went to go play D3 soccer at Wesleyan, but Wesleyan's like a really good academic
Mhm.
school. And the mom's like, "Oh my God, where are you going to school?" And he's like, "I'm going to Wesleyan." And she's like bragging about it, talking about it for like 5 minutes. She's, "What about you?" I was like, "I'm going to FAU." And she's like, "Nice." And I'm just standing there like, sick,
No,
sick.
I think I might take the Charlie approach. People are going to ask me like, "Oh, where'd you go to school?" And be like, "Oh, in Florida." And they'll be like, "Oh, UF? No, FAU." And they'll be like, Charlie should be like, "I go to school in Boston." Oh, Harvard? Nah, UMass. And they're like, "Oh, sick." Like that might be the move from now on.
Amherst.
Yeah, Samhurst University.
Yeah.
There's
What
like
other
100
schools?
schools in Boston. He could list them all off.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think Boston's a cool little area. I haven't been at like, I want to go like at this age. I went when I was in middle school and like the Berkeley field trip, and it was
Mhm.
cool. But like, I have a buddy at FAU from Boston. He loves it. I mean, he's got that fucking always talking shit, to you.
Yeah.
But I loved Boston. But yeah, so back on this train though, what made you? I mean, talk to us a little bit about the transfer portal. What was that like? Like, did you have to like get approved by the school? Like what is that process like to actually hit the transfer portal and like let coaches know?
Yeah. So first thing was at Rutgers, like you had to talk to Coach Schiano, get his approval.
Is that
Once he
scary?
approved, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I mean, I felt like I had a good relationship with him, so it wasn't like anything terrifying. Obviously, like the like scariest thing for me was like the unknown,
Hmm.
like hitting the portal and not knowing where you're going. Because like the way most people do it is not how you're like technically not supposed to do it, but like you talk to a coach from a school and they're like, yeah, we got a spot for you, and you like enter and then you just commit there like 2 days later. But for me, I didn't know where I was gonna go. But yeah, you get like the approval, then you talk to compliance about it. Compliance sends you like a video link, and you gotta watch the video, and it talks about like if you enter the portal, you're immediately giving up your scholarship for next semester, and the school's not required to give it back. You can stay enrolled in the school if you want. And then I don't know. It was just like it was one of those like little short videos of talking about
Hmm.
like the dangers. And then after you got that, you like sign the compliance lease, taking your name off roster, and like it's just a whole bunch of paperwork, like getting rid of the scholarship and like disenrolling from school. And then I was like just going to classes for like 2 3 weeks up at Rutgers, working out in the student gym, which is a little weird, but it was a little different. Um, but yeah, coaches started calling. There's like a NCAA transfer portal thing, like a website, so they know that. But
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it just off Twitter or like there's got to be like an official thing they can see too?
nah,
Like,
there is like an official transfer portal website. I don't even know what it looks like. I think only coaches have access to it, but it's just like I'm pretty sure it's just like your name, your position, where you went to college, and then I mean probably your stats.
and they got to
But
look up the rest. Yeah.
yeah, and then the way that I got like word out was just through Twitter, like saying, "Hey, I entered the portal," and then like texting all the coaches who recruited me out of high school.
So did you get any new schools start talking to you that didn't talk to you before?
Yeah. Like second day, Western Kentucky hit me up. They didn't recruit me out of high school. Georgia Tech didn't recruit me out of high school. Um, UPenn was really recruiting me hard. They recruited me out of high school. Really cool coaching staff. I was actually probably going to go there, but like I got in for football wise, but I hadn't got in through the admissions wise, and it was like on winter break, and so like no one was in the admissions, and it was coming up on like January 5th. I visited Georgia Tech and committed January 5th, and it was coming up on that date, and I was like January 10th was when most schools like went back to winter workouts, and I just didn't want to be stuck in the portal. So I committed to Georgia Tech, and then like literally the next day UPenn called me and they were like, "Yeah, you got in."
Damn.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny because you asked your dad if Charlie accidentally entered the transfer
Yeah, I
portal,
was
but then like your process took you like months of paperwork and like filling shit out, and you're like, oh yeah, I don't think he accidentally did that.
Charlie just throws it on Twitter like, "Yo, guys, I'm done with Harvard. Fuck this shit."
Be like, yeah, dude, I accidentally asked my coach if I could leave, and I accidentally like withdrew all my scholarships and stuff. Like, holy shit, I didn't mean to do that. Like,
I didn't know
god
you
damn.
couldn't go back, bro.
Yeah, now I'm stuck working out in the student gym, man. Just give
Yeah.
me my facilities.
That was kind of funny though, like because there was two or three of us who hit the portal at the same time from Rutgers, and we would all just meet at the student gym, and we'd be pressing like huge weight, and all these kids would just be like staring at us like, "What the hell is
Yeah, but
wrong
it's
with these
if you
guys?"
go at a bad time, you can't get a bench. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
no.
It's
We went.
impossible.
We would always go at like 7 o'clock, right when it opened, and we'd be with like teachers, and then like
Yeah.
as we would be leaving, like all these kids would come in, and like we would be on the squat rack, like it was me, a long snapper, and a D lineman, and we would be squatting like 315, 365, and all these kids would be like, "Oh my gosh, like holy crap, why who is this guy?" It was just
Who
funny.
are you? What are you taking?
Yeah.
But
Speaking of that, let's go through some of your maxes. We're gonna give you let's go through like your combine results. They threw you on the bench right now, 225. How many reps you putting up?
I think I get like 25. I hit 21 this
no
summer.
way.
I hit 21 this summer after
God,
maxing out on bench. Like the way we work out at Georgia Tech is we've got like these sensors and they sensor like how fast the bar can move. And so one of the things was like max velocity or whatever. And I think I hit like 315 at like 0.65 meters per second, whatever it was. And like I was tired. And then like the burnout set was 225 and I hit it for 21. So I can, if I was like nice and warmed up with like no fatigue, I could maybe hit 25.
Is your strength and conditioning coach that guy all over like social media? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Ah,
I'm not
Georgia
really
Tech.
on Twitter like that anymore.
Yeah, but he's been on it for a minute. Damn it. Let me see if I
What's
can
his name?
I gotta look for it.
well, while Grayson looks for it, because I mean, I'll say this: I've just hit my like 225 mark, and I can only get it up for three. So
Hey, good
21 reps
job,
to me
Zach.
is
Good
like
job.
in yeah. I mean, compared to Mr. Austin Dean here, I'm a little bitch made
Yeah,
apparently.
I've
So
never even hit 225. So
yeah, so um I will say this squat though, I'm curious because I feel like you got to throw up like some crazy number. I've been seeing
I got a
some
bad
videos.
squat.
Yeah,
I
I've been
squatted
seeing videos.
470. It was 405 with a 25 and then a 10 on or a 5 on at Rutgers. That was the heaviest. Like
Damn.
I I hurt something in my leg
it's
and I
Luis
was like,
Carrera, this guy.
"Oh no, that's not him.
No
It's the
way.
new one is AJ Artis. He's
Is
from
this guy here there? Still there? Or no.
no. I think he went to Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, Coach Artis, AJ, he's from USF. He was at Tennessee with Georgia Tech's head coach now, and then he went to USF this past year, and then
Yeah,
now
because
he's at
you're the coaching staff at Georgia Tech is brand new, right? It's like their second year.
So Coach Collins got fired halfway through the year, and then the new head coach he came on, Coach Key, and he kept some of the staff, like the defensive coordinator, still the same. Uh, and then I think he kept like the QB's coach. I know a majority of the offensive staff is different.
Where's he from? The head coach. I don't remember. This
He was
bad joke
at
on him.
He was at Tech when he got hired the interim, but I mean, he's been at Tennessee, he's been at Bama, he's been all over the place, I think.
And is he the one that recruited you, or?
Him, the DC, Coach Thacker, and then Coach Seymour. He's actually no longer there. He's the DC at Marshall now, but them three, but mostly Coach Thacker.
Now, what was it about Georgia Tech that made you like them so much over everyone else? Because I mean, you didn't even get, like you said, a real visit.
Yeah, well, I kind of did. I just didn't get an official. It was like January 5th. I went up and I had to make my decision by January 9th if I was going to be on the team or not. And so I went up and visited. I mean, obviously, like Georgia Tech's got that brand for being like a great school, and that was like one of the deals with my dad. Like, I wasn't going to go to just like a random school to play football. Like, I had to go like Rutgers are better because Rutgers was already a pretty good education. And so he wanted me to either Rutgers are better, and Tech obviously has that reputation. And then being close to home, like I could drive up. Like I'm driving up to Tallahassee tomorrow, and then halfway up on Sunday. Gonna see some friends in Tallahassee, but just being close to home, being down in the South, I really like the DC Coach Thacker. He's a cool guy. And yeah, just facilities are nice. Great area in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, the team
I
has
like about it.
there's so much potential for that team, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
you
they
saw
beat
it.
they
They
beat
beat
North Carolina
UNC
and
at
Pitt last
UNC.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Pitt too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of potential there. I mean, and they showed they could be good. I mean, that year they had Justin Thomas and they played Florida State in the AC championship. I think it was 2013 or 2014. Like they proved that they could be good, like so it's there,
Yeah,
everything's there and you can be a part of that new wave, which is kind of sick about it too.
yeah, we got some ballers.
For sure. One of the things I wanted to touch on back to your Rucker days, you actually made your debut in college against a top 25 team, right? You played Michigan State.
Yeah,
Is that correct? What was kind of that like going into your first football game? You're facing a top 25 school. What were like your emotions, and was it there or at home?
it was at home. Um,
Okay.
it was cool. I was on kickoff, so like opening and we kicked off. I remember it like clear as day. They used to play like the kickoff music, so like everyone's like getting amped and like jumping up and down. I mean, I had chills like running down the field. It was a touchback, and I just remember like getting in the end zone and screaming at the top of my lungs. Like I was amped. I was amped.
Oof.
No,
Yeah. And
that's
then
awesome. And those fans of Rutgers are solid too, man.
Yeah, no, they love Jersey.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
now we have a recurring theme here at Clocks on the Stove, and I wonder if you have the same sentiment. I'm going to ask you what the best environment you've played in and the worst environment you played in. And I'm going to assume I can guess the worst one.
Yeah, I
So I
think I
want
can
to
guess the
hear.
worst one as
Yeah.
well.
I'm gonna let you go your first one because I know you played Penn State. I don't know if that was home or away. I know you played Michigan
Well,
both
you were there
when
for
they
2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, so we saw home and away of everybody.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah, I played at all like the major stadiums.
Yeah. So what was your best environment? Maybe it could be most hostile or whatever, but whatever you like, I guess either
Your
did
favorite
enjoy.
memory environment and your least favorite memory environment.
Yeah.
Coolest one, at the Horseshoe, that was pretty cool playing against Ohio State. It was packed. I think we were their senior day, I think.
And you had that
But
little Schiano Ohio State beef kind of too.
yeah. Well, I'm saying like we were at halftime and we were down. We went up on them. I think it was like 14-7, but we went into halftime down. It was like 28-14, and he comes over to the defensive side and he's like, he's gonna throw a pick. We're gonna get the ball. We're gonna score. First play, CJ Stroud drops back. First and second play, he drops back. Throws a post right over the middle. Free safety picks it off, and we were on the sideline going like, "Oh my gosh, we're about to go win this." It was crazy. Like he called it out. That was probably like the coolest thing. That or when we were playing Michigan at home, it was sold out at Rutgers. Uh, I was actually like playing a little bit in that game too. We blocked a punt and we scored, and we went up. We were up like 21 to something at half, and that was like really cool. Worst environment, probably Northwestern.
Yeah, we knew it.
Knew
We
it.
knew you were going
We
to say
knew it.
Northwestern.
Dude,
Yeah, everyone says Northwestern.
Yeah, it was like cold and windy, and their grass was like this thick. like you stepped into it and your foot sunk down. Yeah.
I think you're the
And like
fourth guy we've had on here say the same thing about Northwestern. They all say
yeah,
there's no fans.
the
The
stadium is
weather
weird.
sucks. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
really old and like the field conditions are terrible.
Yeah.
I
Well, they do
I
that on
bet
purpose though.
you think it's a strategical advantage
Yeah,
for
but they're
them?
gonna blow out their own players' knees too. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, they probably practice on that. I don't know. They're like known for being like the slow white guys. So
Mm,
you're going
it's
against
true.
Ohio State, like Marvin Harrison Jr., who's not used to running on that thick of grass, and you are. It gives you a little bit of advantage, but
Yeah,
I was gonna say
you're the, I think the third or fourth guy to say Northwestern.
yeah.
yeah, no,
My
that feels blue.
my opinion, I think they definitely excel more in their virtual tours for kids because them in person visits probably suck ass.
They got really nice facilities though. Everything except the stadium is like top in the country.
Yeah, and
I could just
I don't know how
imagine.
their coach still has a job though.
They're building a new one, I think, too. I
I
think they're
mean,
Oh, they are. Yeah, no,
downsizing.
no, you are. I see that. I saw that. Yeah, and it's like
They're
really nice.
downsizing though. It's going to like 35,000.
Well, I mean, dude, they don't even get 1/4 of it
Yeah.
full, anyways.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, they should consider downsizing the grass because playing in the rough at PG National probably isn't the greatest thing in the world. But I could
That-
just
That's
imagine.
pretty much exactly. That's a great description. In the
Yeah,
rough.
yeah. I mean, dude, like in my opinion, you're probably taking a kid through a visit. They see all the facilities. I'm like, yeah, this is really nice. And they're like, all right, now let me see that stadium. And they're like, oh, what? You're cutting out. Like,
Sorry, bad internet connection.
they're like, I can see you. Like, it's right there. And they're like, nope,
The coach
sorry.
is just like freezing. He's just like,
He's like,
Yeah.
uh.
Yeah. We're actually the first team in the country that's going to play 12 away games. So you have nothing to worry about moving forward.
oh, that's
She,
awesome. Hey, real quick, off topic. When you were at Rutgers, did you go to any wrestling meets?
Uh, no.
Not at all.
I like watched one though. I watched an away meet. They wrestled. I think we had a
Just hammers at Rutgers, dude.
yeah. The coach's son played for the team for my freshman year. Coach Goodale.
You play football?
Yeah, Zach played football. And then we had an All-American wrestler, Keontae Hamilton. He was a heavyweight. I watched his meet. I think he wrestled he was either at Minnesota or at Penn State, one of the two. I watched it online. But they got a good team.
They have a really good team. Yeah, Nick
Yeah,
Schiano was there. Anthony Ashnault. They have
yeah,
a bunch of hammers. But yeah, speaking of wrestling, we wrestled my senior night when you were a
yeah.
freshman. Yeah.
Out on the field with the
Out on the
slippery
football
ass
field,
mat.
man. It's so like the idea of it was so sick. We're gonna have it on the football field
Yeah,
tonight. We're gonna run out from one end, they're gonna run from the other end. Like it's gonna look sick. Little did we know that in Florida, if
the
the
humidity.
humidity made the mat a slip and slide, bro. So
Did you
we're
pin
out
me or did
there.
you tech me?
I think I texted you, but I was sick the whole week with the flu. I had the flu
Really?
the entire week, and I made weight only on the fact that I wasn't eating food because I was sick. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wrestle. I'm just gonna wrestle Dean, and I'm gonna get out of there. Like I'm gonna
Santos
go in
told me
there.
he was like, "You got to wrestle Grayson. It's his senior night." I was like, "Fuck."
And I was like, well, I got that match done. I'm like, all right, that's fine, whatever. I think I met your dad that night too because he sat with my dad, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm good. I'm like dying, by the way. I have the flu. And I go and sit down, and Santos and Josh Fulford just start walking over to me. I'm like, oh shit, what's this gonna be about? And they're like, hey man, Conrad didn't show up, so like, can you wrestle Romo? Like he needs match. And I'm like, dude, I feel so shitty. And Santos like, dude, it's exposition, doesn't matter. Like, just go out there, beat him up a little, and wrestle. And I remember I go out there, I get the first takedown, I gassed. Whole rest of the match, I have
Yeah, I
no
bet.
cardio. Done. And I couldn't move my feet on top of that. So I'm just like in a 4-point stance, like crawling at Roma, like I had no cardio. I think he went to overtime. He took me down. I was just beat. I couldn't. I was so dead. And I remember I was so mad at Santos because I've known Santos my whole life since I was like
Yeah.
6, and I was like, "You made me lose on my senior night." Like blah blah blah. And he's like, "I didn't know you were sick."
Roma had a
yeah.
similar situation with me. He wrestled who's the dude from Tampa Prep?
Artelona.
Artolono. He wrestled Artolono. And that was my first ever time seeing Romo get toyed with. I was like, holy crap. Like Artolono picked him up and Romo just was like laughing in the air. He was like, oh my God.
Yeah, but that's just a different level. Like that's
Yeah.
elite. That's an elite
Yeah.
level.
That guy was
He
sick.
went to UPenn.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, but
Austin,
yeah.
did
Sorry,
you
Zach.
only wrestle? Did you only wrestle for 1 year in high school?
No, I wrestled all of middle school at Berkeley, and then my freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year, COVID happened, and I was just like trying to get ready for football. Like I got my first offer my sophomore year, and after that, I was just kind of like,
What
okay,
school?
I'm doing football. My first offer was Southern Miss,
Oh, that's actually pretty
and then
fire.
like,
Mm.
and then it was like 6 or 7 months later, almost like a full year later, Coastal Carolina offered me my junior year, and then I was like, I'm not wrestling. Like
Oh yeah, there's
I'm,
no point.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to lose weight because at that point I was not strong enough to. I was probably like 205, and I was not strong enough to wrestle at 205, so I would have had to cut weight, and I just did not want to cut any weight. I was trying to put on weight for football, so I was like, screw this, I'm out.
I remember when I
Yeah.
was in high school. I don't know if it's the same. I'm assuming it's the same now, but like there was a trend of like kids getting their first offers. Like all if you were from Tampa, like your first 6 offers were the same. It was like Toledo,
Yeah,
Southern Miss, like all those like really little MAC schools. They would all just
yeah,
offer you at one time. And once you got the first one, the next 5 just came. And
yeah.
it
That's
was
how
always
it
be
kind of
so
went.
funny. Like Marshall's another one. Like all those little schools.
Yeah, Marshall, Toledo. That was Charlie's first offer. Toledo, Southern Miss. FAU was another one. When Taggart was there, he was handing out
Yeah, he's a
offers a
huge
lot.
Tampa guy.
Yeah. He loves that.
We got Tom Herman now though, which is hype.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. One of the reason why I kind of brought up wrestling a little bit is I'm a big believer that being a dual sport athlete in high school is huge, and translating to the college level just because you take away so many things from other sports. What are some of the things you think you took away from wrestling or that might have helped you develop as a football player? Maybe it'd
uh,
be like cardio, like anything.
like hand-eye coordination. Like my hand-eye coordination got so much better for wrestling, and like hand fighting, like knowing where to place my hands, and then like also like leverage with like bodies, like being able to stay low, like rushing off the edge was kind of similar to like shooting a shot because you kind of had to like dip low and like being able to like you obviously don't drag your knee when you're rushing, but like being able to dip low like that, like on the move and like learn how to do that. And then like I still kind of use some of the stuff like pushing and then pulling, stuff like that. Like I didn't know any of that before wrestling. And I also just got in shape. Like I was a little pudgy little seventh grader when I started, and I got abs in seventh grade. I was like, holy crap,
Like I love wrestling.
this face is pretty sick.
You're like I can take on anyone. Like these eighth graders want to fuck with me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
beat the shit out of
That's
them.
awesome. Did you play baseball too? Because I know Charlie was a baseball kid.
Nah, I
Yeah.
hated baseball. It was too slow.
Yeah.
That
I
was
played
my problem. But
lacrosse.
as I got old, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Oh my
You're gonna diss
god.
baseball and play lacrosse?
I played lacrosse.
I mean, I'll say this: if you're a big boy in lacrosse, you could deck the shit out of some
Yeah,
kids.
Yeah.
that's true.
You can light some kids up. I've seen a lot of lacrosse videos of kids just bullying other kids, and I'm like, all right, that's probably the one cool aspect I'll take away from that.
That looks like it's fun.
Yeah, my eighth grade year, Berkeley's like a lacrosse school too.
Yeah.
So like my eighth grade year, we had all my friend group, they were like 30 at lacrosse. I just played D-pole, and like they'd put me in at midi when we were up by like 20, and I would just like run around with
Kids
sixth
over.
graders.
Dude. So
It's awesome.
the one thing I liked about, or no, I didn't even like this about Berkeley. So when I played baseball against Berkeley, I always played my best games against them for some reason. But I'll never forget the reason why I didn't like Berkeley that much is every time we had districts for swimming, Berkeley would host, and y'all had probably the coldest swimming pool of all time. Like I shit you not, because swimming our districts took place in the spring. That's like the only time Tampa's cold. So it's
Yeah.
like 50 fucking degrees outside. I'm in a Speedo, like my dick is shriveled up inside of me. I'm like pale as shit, 130 pounds. It's like 20-mile-an-hour winds. Everyone's in the stands with jackets. I'm like, yeah, I'm ass naked about to swim against this all-American. I'm like, this dude's
Yeah, that's
gonna
another thing. Berkeley was great at
Berkeley's
swimming
good
too.
at swimming and
Gross.
diving, bro. Yeah.
The
Gross.
Barracudas.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm up there. I'm like, what are we doing here? And they're like, well, you're like one of the only private schools that have a swimming team for some reason. So you get to swim against Berkeley and Tampa Prep. And I just remember Berkeley and Tampa Prep, it'd be like the Olympics going on in front of me. And then you have like me, this kid named Luke Jackson, and then like three out of shape kids that just need to lose weight that are like, yeah, you're on the swim team because you're fat. And I'm like, well, we're
The
fucked.
race is just like Berkeley and Tampa Prep kids like dusting Zach, and Zach's like, They gotta
Dude,
catch
I'm like,
up.
dude, I'll never forget this. I made regionals in the backstroke because in districts, my whole heat got DQ'd because they did their turns wrong. And I was the only one that did my turns right. And
You
I'm
were
like,
district champ.
yes. Made it to regionals. And then I'll never forget. I get to regionals. I throw up during warmups because I can't even do the warmups because that's how hard they were. Like our coach is like, all right, guys, we're gonna swim a 500 meter. Like he's like, just do a 500 meter warm up. I'm like, coach, I don't know how to like chill. Like I was like, I only know like swim fast. So I throw up before my heat, and
In the
then
pool?
no, almost. I was able to run to the corner, and I like threw up behind like a fence. And I was like, I wanted to go up to my coach and tell him like, yo, like I'm throwing up, I can't do it. And then like I looked at him and he gave me this look that I was like, he was like, if you say anything other than you're getting on that block right now, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Two other kids get disqualified, but thankfully one kid beat me, so I didn't have to go to states because I was gonna get brutally embarrassed
Oh
if I
my
went to states.
gosh, that is the greatest story
That's so
ever.
funny.
Dude,
You
oh
gotta
my God.
get like a freshman year district champ shirt or
I
something.
have it. I
Flex on
have it. I have it. It
Dude, you're
literally is.
really that good? No, it was every single other person didn't make it.
They all got kicked out. They all got DQ'd.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it literally says FHSAA swimming regionals, and then my
Oh
name's on
my
the back.
gosh, that is awesome. That
Yeah,
is fucking awesome.
never swim again. I
Did
decided that
you
was the last time.
Austin, did you play you played middle school football at Berkeley, right?
Uh-huh.
You played for Coach Houston?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the
That's my
GOAT, bro.
guy.
Yeah, that's the GOAT, dude. Who else was your coaching staff when you were on the middle school team?
Oh God. Coach Crockett.
Yep, GOAT, bro.
Him.
GOAT.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. Lamano.
Yeah, Lamano just ran fifth quarter for us.
Um,
You didn't have Coach Bones, right?
what did he look like?
Yeah, you didn't have him then. He was a PE teacher at Berkeley. I didn't know if he left before you got there or not.
There was a QB coach.
Coach
Who I-
Knight?
yeah, would he smoke cigs?
I don't
That's all I remember about him. He used to smoke cigs, and I was like, what the fuck?
at Berkeley?
No, he would be in his car.
Okay, I was
We'd
gonna
walk into
say that's
practice, I'd
still
see him
weird.
smoking in his car.
Oh my
That's still
God.
weird. Yeah, no, Coach Houston, GOAT. Coach Crockett, GOAT. Coach Crockett has the best sayings, dude. He would
Yeah.
always say, are you a football player or do you just play football? He would say that all the time. And we would be like, what do you mean? Like, what
One
is
of my
that?
boys, my funniest Coach Crockett story is one of my boys. He was the punter, and he was punting the ball. We were playing Lakeland Christian, and someone ran through and smacked him, and he put a hole in his esophagus, and he comes running over to the sideline and like was like not like throwing up, like bent over, like, and Coach Crockett comes over. He's like, "Are you sure it's just not a stomach cramp?" And I'm pretty sure Brooks Johnson. I'm pretty sure he like ended up playing like a couple more downs before he was like, I cannot take this pain. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Um,
Coach Crockett was the king of sayings, bro. That's all I remember. He was the
He's
GOAT.
funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
Houston's the
he was like one of
board
the only coaches
dude.
I really remember.
Yeah, I'll be a Coach Houston guy my whole rest of my life. Like I love that man. He actually got me. I'm actually running the Berkeley Wrestling Summer Camp this summer because of
Oh, you
him.
are?
Yeah, he hit me up and said he wanted me to run it. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So, but yeah, Crockett's the GOAT. He would always say because when I was at Berkeley, the issue is at Berkeley is a lot of kids they're not physical, like they're kind of soft.
Yeah,
You know?
no.
So they put me on D line when I was like 110 pounds because I would just hit kids. I didn't care. I would hit kids. So Coach Crockett would always be like, Grayson, you the smallest big guy, the biggest, smallest guy I've ever seen in my life. And I'd be like,
oh my God.
thanks, coach. He would just say like the greatest sayings, bro. Coach Crockett was the man.
You know, you brought up punting, so I think it's time for me to share my worst football story of all time, and hopefully we can get one of your worst football stories. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because it is the most traumatic event I've ever had in my life. We were playing Calvary Christian at Calvary, and I was on punt team and our long snapper. And it was like, by the way, my second game punting ever. Like I was one of those like Aussie punters where I just ran to the side, just kicked the fucking line drive and hoped it rolled like 40 feet. Long snapper fucks up the punt. and I'm a baseball player by heart. So I'm on the goal line. My foot is on the goal line. And my reaction when the ball hits the ground is to block it and keep it in front of you like a baseball player.
Uh-huh.
So I field the fucking punt with my knee on the ground and I punt it away and I
Safety.
hear the whistle, downed it at the fucking one. I need it as a punter. And I was like, dude, I'm going to kill myself. And like I'm literally standing there. I'm like, this is the only game like all my friends came to. Like I was like, there is no recovering from this. I was like, I just took a knee at the one as a punter, and I'm never gonna step foot on the field again. I was like, nope. I
It's
was
so
like,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
what's your worst football story, Austin? I got two I can think of.
I got two too. My worst, like, grossest one was we were playing CCC in the playoffs, and like there was a big pile, and I just like punched my hand to like trying to knock the ball out in the pile, and like someone's helmet came in and like cracked my thumb sideways, and the bone was sticking out of my thumb, and like I'd never broken a bone before too, so it just like went numb, and I was like, oh, like I just probably like popped it out, like it's
Because you
fine.
couldn't see it yet.
Yeah, I had a glove, and I already had like a soft cast on it because like my ligaments, like in my thumbs, I got bad thumbs, and so like I already had a soft cast on it, and that's what it cracked over. But yeah. So I like played another down on punt, and like I just remember like putting my hands on someone and feeling it like jolt and like jiggle, and I was like, oh, went off to the sideline. Tell our trainers Eddie, I'm like Eddie, my
It
thumb's
was
numb.
Button,
Like,
right? Eddie Button.
yeah,
Goat, dude.
that is the man.
Yeah, that is the
That is
guy.
the
That
man.
is the guy.
But he like cuts off the tape, takes off the soft cast, pulling off my glove, and the bone had like a shard to it, and so he was pulling off my thing, and the bone snagged onto the glove. I was like, ah,
oh,
and so like we like slowly took it off, and then like I just remember seeing like white, and it was my bone was like sticking out, and like my thumb was sideways. That was probably the worst one, and like
I'm
jogging
assuming
back
you
into
didn't play the rest of the game.
nah, I went TGH right away, and I had to get surgery that night.
are you sure it's not a stomach cramp?
But now I can't bend it anymore. No, that Coach Crockett's the man.
You know, Coach Crockett is the man.
Coach Croc, you sure you didn't dislocate your thumb? I'm sure it's just a jam,
No, but
buddy.
like
Come
I
on.
can't even bend it anymore. Like that's as far as I can go.
It's crazy you say that, dude. Because I mean, I know you have one more story, but when I played at Berkeley, my eighth grade year, I broke my wrist because our starting running back tore his ACL on the first play of the game against Trinity. So they put me at running back. I'm not a running back, and we get into I stiff arm a kid, and then as I'm stiff arming him, I get wrapped, and we get into a pile, and my hand got stuck in his face mask, and it
Oh,
broke my wrist. I come back, I run over the sideline, and it hurts, but it's not like the worst pain of my life. And I
yeah.
run over the sideline, and Sarah was our trainer at the time. I was like, Sarah, I need more tape because I always tape my wrist. I was like, I need more. So she like taped it up from here all the way to here. I played the whole rest of the game. Played the entire rest of the game. Didn't really feel the pain. It was just like uncomfy. I played running back. Like I was taking
Uh-huh.
carries. I go home that night. I can't move my whole arm because the pain from my wrist hurts so bad. And my
Yeah, I bet.
parents are in Vegas because my dad had like some teaching convention. So my grandma's staying with us, and she's like, "Oh, you're fine." Like she Coach Crocketed me. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I go to school the next day, and I get up, I like wake up to go to school, and I can't get out of bed. I'm crying because it hurts so bad, and I went to the hospital and I shattered my wrist.
Yeah, that was like with me. Like the next day after surgery, they put like the nerve block in. So I woke up from surgery. I was feeling like perfectly fine. I was using it the whole day, like didn't
Still
feel a
sticking.
thing. Woke up the next morning, I had two pins in it. And like I went up to like try and like grab something, and I just remember like trying to move my thumb, and it was like the worst pain I felt. Like right off the morning, I tried to like grab a water bottle or something like that.
All right, what's your
It
other
was
story? I
gross.
don't want to hear this one anymore. What's the other story?
Uh Freshman year playing Wisconsin, throw me into the game. We were losing like 35 to something. It was my first ever time ever playing
Is
linebacker.
it
We
at
were on the goal
Wisconsin?
line. No, it was at Rutgers. We were at the goal line against Wisconsin. The big Midwestern boys messed up my assignment. That was just like that was my first like, oh my god, like welcome to the Big Ten moment. But
Yeah,
yeah, it
did
was
you get
embarrassing.
murked?
Nah, I held my own, but I did fuck up my assignment and they scored.
Nice.
Damn.
That's
Did
like the scariest goal line offense in college football.
Yeah, I was like, gee, it's like Berkeley prep all over again.
damn. What was film like that next day? Because I know you were probably dreading it.
They were just like, Dean messed up again. Next clip.
I would say my worst two football memories. My first, I was in, I think fourth grade, and we were in the Super Bowl against the Steelers, against some team that we lost to earlier in the year, and we were up 21-14. And in the league I played in, there was no overtime. Like if it was tied, it was tied. And I was a little ass kid, dude, and I was at safety, and they had this huge black quarterback. He was like, like I wouldn't. In my mind, he was like 6'2". Like that's how I remember him. That's how like big he was. And he breaks a rollout in the fourth quarter, and it's just me and him in open field. And I like the only time my entire life this has ever happened. I got so scared I just dove at his feet, and he ran in for the touchdown, tying touchdown, and we lost. And that has stayed with me the rest of my life. I never, because of that exact moment, and like seeing every like what am I gonna? Everyone saw me do it.
Yeah.
It was 1-on-1 in open field. I have no excuse at all. Like everybody saw me do it. And I remember going over the sideline, and I was like, I will never be scared to hit again. And then my entire life, I've got ran over hundreds of times, but I'd rather get ran over than just
Yeah.
bitch. But my other time was actually against your brother, and it was my sophomore year. We're playing at JV Jesuit at TC. We're at TC, and even for a JV game, that game's packed. Like there's a lot of heads there, and like this wasn't known at the time by like only by very few people, but I was like going to go to Tampa Catholic the next year. Like that was like the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to start a wrestling program there and go play football there. And like very select few people knew that at the time. So my mindset's like, I need to ball the fuck out this game and like show
So
up.
people knew who you are.
I need to make a message so when I come next year, the coach knows who I am. And I play a great first half. Like me and Jalen Bussey hit heads. Like a great first half, and then second half, your brother. It's like opening the second half. Your brother throws a post right down the middle, and I'm right there for it. Like I'm like, oh, here goes an interception, and it's like I had the feeling like in my mind I felt the football. Like I felt me catch it, and kid comes in front of me, catches it, scores touchdown, tie game. And because I didn't jump for it or anything, I just waited, and he just went, and I was like, and then the rest of the game, worst game of my life. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Couldn't stop thinking about it. I got burnt like 3 more times that game. Like couldn't. It was I was in my own head so heavy, so freaking heavy, bro. I was so I literally like when I went like this to catch it, I like felt the football. Like I thought I caught it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, pick, and then it just and I was like, I was so confused. And then it was like, oh, well, good now. They're only down by like 3, and I was like, sick. And then that was another play where it was like I couldn't blame anybody else. It was just
Yeah.
me. Just me right there. And I was like, all right, fuck. But yeah, so something we've been doing recently is like I don't know if you saw with your brother, we did top 5 nuts. I've been on a weird trend of just like on TikTok watching old movies and stuff. Who would you guys say in order are your top 5 all-time actors?
Jeez.
I'm definitely gonna.
I'm into the
leave someone
gangster
out.
movies, so I like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is up there. I don't got an order.
Yeah, just do
Um,
5. Just do 5.
I don't even know if I know 5 actors.
Bro.
Uh, dude who plays Michael Scott. He's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch
Steve.
movies like
Steve.
that.
Yeah. Steve. Steve Carell.
Carell. Brad Pitt,
Solid.
Tom Cruise
Solid.
Pretty basic.
for
Yeah,
5.
I'm intrigued to hear Zach's.
Okay. So for me, Brad Pitt's definitely up there. I'm gonna go Denzel Washington just because every movie he's been
Yeah,
in is
I'll take off Steve Carell. I'll throw up Denzel.
yeah, Denzel for
Fuck
sure.
Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Fuck Michael Scott, you TV bastard. Damn. Trying to think of like my favorite.
Here, I
wanna
could throw
say-
mine out there if it'll help get your juices flowing.
Yeah, throw yours
I
out there.
got
'Cause I'm definitely gonna
for
think of
sure
three.
McConaughey's in there. Leonardo DiCaprio's in there. I also
Damn.
have Denzel Washington. I have Chris Pratt in there as well. You guys know who Chris Pratt is. I feel like Austin may not.
Yes.
Yep, Chris
I
Pratt's
do.
in there.
Star Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Lord. He's also like a huge wrestling fanatic too. He like supports and raises a lot of money for USA Wrestling. And for number 5, there's a lot of people I could fit in there. I kind of want to go with a TV person. Give me, I was gonna go Ryan Reynolds, but I'm gonna go Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders.
Nice.
Mm,
Okay,
that's a good
my
one.
five. My five. I said Denzel. I said Brad Pitt. Samuel L. Jackson. Number two. See, I know who my number one is for sure.
You don't have to do an order. You just have three. You can only name two more.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. I guess I'll throw Hugh Jackman up there just because his versatility is really good. Him in the Prestige, fire. My number one though, without a doubt, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, easy, easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Some honorable mentions. I feel like we forgot. Like I said, Ryan Reynolds. Damn, I just had it in my head and it ran away.
Johnny
Ryan
Depp.
Gosling.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, I was just about to say Ryan Gosling too. Johnny Depp, Ryan Gosling. There was another one. I just had it.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman's a good one. Will Ferrell. That's who it was.
Yeah, well,
We
dude,
forgot Will Ferrell.
probably one
John
of the
C.
best.
Riley too. Honestly.
Yeah, some of the best comedy movies that like have actually got me to laugh are because Will Ferrell is in them. Apparently, he's like the funniest guy ever on set. I'll give Jonah Hill his props.
Yeah,
Robert
Jonah
Downey
I put
Jr..
Jonah Hill there. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Who's the one
RDJ.
in like the Two Dads movie with Will Ferrell? Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, and Marky Mark. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
up there.
Marky Mark. Yeah, damn.
I feel like there's a big one we're missing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Jack Nicholson, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, those are
Christian
good ones.
Bale.
Christian Bale.
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
that's what I was
who it
thinking of.
is. Yeah,
That's what I
who
was
it
thinking
is.
of.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Also, what about oh my gosh, if I don't remember his name, I'm gonna get so upset. Oh shit, what's his name? What's his name?
Are
The
you thinking of a
dude,
ball?
he's
Are
in
you
he's in
thinking of a
Hunger
ball,
Games.
dude?
Hunger Games guy. Not main guy, the drunk one,
Oh,
He's
he's in
in
the
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Oh,
Shit, what is his name? I can see his face.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody
Woody
Harrelson, yeah.
Harrelson.
If you
Woody Harrelson.
haven't, I just watched True Detective season 1 with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Bro, you should. It's crack. Like you should check it out.
True
I'm
It
Detective.
finishing The
you've seen?
Sopranos right now.
Season 1 of True
I'll
Detective.
watch that. True
It's Woody
Detective.
Harrelson, and it's not like each season's a different like cast and different. It's like one of those shows, so you only need to
Oh,
watch
okay.
season 1. But it's
James
McConaughey.
Gandolfini. Just because I went to Rutgers, I gotta throw James Gandolfini in there.
Who the hell is that?
He's the main guy in The Sopranos. He's Tony Soprano.
Oh, really? Damn.
If you even watch The
Of course,
Sopranos,
he's from fucking New Jersey, bro.
you gotta watch. I got to. I started watching when I was up there. It's a good show.
Zach, didn't you dabble with that for a little?
Which one?
The
The
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
I'm on season 1 right now. Yeah,
I feel like it's got to be just like every other gangster show.
see,
It
it's
gets
not.
better.
It's
Nah.
not. It's like a psycho. So the whole point of the movie is they bring up a bunch of like the Italian gangster stereotypes, and then it shows you how like different he actually is, and it's like one of the best like modern tragedies of a show. Like
Yeah, he
ever.
goes to like a shrink and like he like kills all these people.
It's
and
all
then he
true
talks to,
too,
like,
right?
Huh?
It's true shit, or is it like
No. It's made up. But
Yeah.
he'll like kill someone and then he'll go to like his therapist and talk about how like mentally it's messing him up.
Dude, now I know.
What's the OG? What's the OG movie? The OG gang movie.
Godfather.
No,
Goodfellas.
not Goodfellas. Yeah,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
I watched that last night.
So, you remember the scene where they go to Florida and they dump that dude in the
Mhm.
Okay, so no names, but a person we know very well, that is their like uncle that threw that body because his family was Tampa Mafia. He was the one that threw the dude in it was Lowry Park Zoo. They threw him in the Lowry Park Zoo gator pit.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I hope they don't come after me for this now, but yeah.
Yeah, witness protection program.
Yeah. Yeah, shit, that's a good one. Did you ever watch that's why I love Peaky Blinders too. It has that like gangster aspect.
Yeah.
But I can't watch gangster. I know you have to get going to, but I can't watch gangster shit and I can't watch heist shit because Rick and Morty ruined heist movies for me.
Yeah. Rick and Morty's a
Yeah,
good one.
that episode of Rick and Morty where they do the
Yeah.
heist and it's just like every single heist movie I can't watch.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't watch heist movies, bro. It literally ruined it for me.
And it was like, Rick, did you make me do all this just so I wouldn't pitch my story to Netflix? And he goes, no, what are you talking about? He's like, no, he's like, they're not all the same. He's like, yeah, they are. It's like,
No, dude, and
no,
then I'm like at that same time I'm like talking to this girl And it's the first like we just like we're like in that stage of like we were like just like hanging out, and then we're like, all right, let's see what happens. And I go over to her place for the first time, and I'm like, yo, you pick a movie, like I'll watch whatever. And she just names heist movie after heist movie after heist movie, and I'm like, I cannot fucking watch a heist
They're
movie.
ruined.
Yeah, and she was getting so upset. She's like, what are the ones with Brad Pitt? It's like
Oceans, the
yeah, she
Oceans
names
movie.
all of those, and she starts naming other ones. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I cannot watch a heist
Have you
movie.
have you
I
ever
just
seen
can't.
the ocean? Have you ever seen the Oceans movies though?
No, I just, dude, I'm telling you, I can't. I just can't. I'm just gonna be at
Don't
Tampa.
watch. No. Don't watch it for the heist aspect. Just the characters like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, like all the guys they have in the movie. It's awesome. It's awesome. I don't even enjoy it for. I don't even remember like what they heisted in the movies. They're just so fucking good in those movies. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I just remember we literally spent maybe 45 minutes trying to pick a movie, and it got to the point I think I just left. I was like, yeah, let's just redo this. Try this again tomorrow. I can't do this today.
Uh,
But yeah, hey, Austin, I know you got to get going, man. Hey, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day and coming here. I had a great time.
Me
I
too.
hope
Thanks for having me.
everyone else enjoys this podcast as well. If you have
oh
any
yeah,
final words or any shout outs or anything you want to say, man, the floor is yours.
No, just thanks for having me. Like you said, it was a great time.
yeah. My advice to you would be next time you suffer an injury, maybe just think if it's a stomach cramp or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Do you know when you and Charlie will both be in Tampa at the same time next?
Probably May, because
We
that's
should
typically
definitely
when
we should definitely do a little in person pod with us four,
for sure.
and
You
then
could
we
talk
can
about
just
how he's scared, how he
yeah,
like
yeah, we can
no trust.
confront, we can combine the two podcasts and just
We could have a little
face to face.
intervention.
Yeah, maybe you guys line up doing Oklahoma drill. Me and Zach like ref it. Me and Zach doing Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, we're gonna start our own clocks 7-on-7 team, and then we're gonna go enter in tournaments.
Dude, with the guests we've had, we have a pretty nice 7-on-7 team.
Oh yeah.
We have a
Oh yeah.
pretty nice 7-on-7 team.
Yeah. We need to start bringing on some more skill position players, wide receivers,
Yeah,
DBs.
we got a lot of big boys. We need to get some speed guys.
Yeah. Need our
Man, we'd have
speed.
a really good 7-on-7 team.
Damn. We're gonna have to like create like a fictional one.
Charlie, Bentley, Elijah, Austin, Anthony
Jai.
Nelson, Jalen Bussey.
Who's the corner from Florida we had?
Yeah, Jordan Young. Damn, bro,
OJY.
we'd have a fire 7-on-7 team.
Yeah.
Charlie would obviously be my backup at quarterback though, because I'm the nastiest
Yeah,
7-on-7 quarterback.
obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, I will let you get going, man. Thank you so much. Let's definitely try to get that in person one though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.